If your heart melts for simple kindness, if you find joy in the small acts of love that often go unnoticed, then this story is for you. It's a tale that transcends time. A story that speaks to the very essence of what it means to give selflessly and to love unconditionally. It's about a tree and a boy, and the bond they share over the years, a bond that teaches us about the true meaning of happiness and fulfillment. It begins in a serene forest, where the morning light filters through the leaves, casting a golden glow. In this tranquil setting, a young boy finds his way to a tree that would become his lifelong friend and confidant. The boy would come to the tree every day. He would run through the forest, his laughter echoing through the trees, and he would play under the large, welcoming branches of the tree. The tree, with her heart-shaped leaves and sturdy trunk, was always there, waiting for him with open arms. He would climb her trunk, swing from her branches and eat her apples. The tree was happy. She delighted in the boy's presence, in his joy and his laughter. She gave him her apples to eat, her branches to swing from, and her trunk to climb. And in return, she received the purest form of happiness, the joy of giving. But as the boy grew older, he wanted more. The simple pleasures of childhood no longer satisfied him. He began to seek out new experiences, new adventures, and new desires. The tree, ever loving and selfless, noticed the change in the boy. She saw his longing for more and wanted to help him in any way she could. The tree gave him her apples to sell, hoping that the money he earned would bring him happiness. She watched as he picked the apples, filled his basket, and went off to sell them. She hoped that this act of giving would fulfill his desires and bring him joy. She gave her branches to build a house when he needed a place to call his own. She offered her branches willingly, knowing that they would provide him with shelter and comfort. She watched as he built his house, piece by piece, with the branches she had given him, and though she was left a little more bare, she was happy, for she had given him what he needed, and her trunk to make a boat, when he longed for adventure and the open sea. She gave him her trunk, the very core of her being, so that he could build a boat and sail away to new horizons. She watched as he cut her down piece by piece, and though it pained her, she was happy, for she had given him the means to follow his dreams. Years passed, and the boy, now an old man, returned. He had lived a full life, filled with adventures and experiences, but he had also faced hardships and challenges. He returned to the tree, now a stump, seeking solace and comfort in the place where he had always found it. He needed nothing but a quiet place to rest. He no longer sought material possessions or grand adventures. All he wanted was a place to sit, to reflect, and to find peace. The tree, now a stump, welcomed him with all she had left. She offered him her remaining strength, her unwavering love, and her enduring presence. The tree, now a stump, welcomed him with all she had left. She offered him a place to sit, a place to rest, and a place to find peace. And in that moment, the tree was happy. She had given all she had, and she had done it out of love, and the tree was happy. She had given everything she had, and in doing so, she had found true happiness. Her love and her selflessness had made a difference in the boy's life, and that was all she ever wanted. This story reminds us that love is in the giving, not the taking. It teaches us that true happiness comes from selflessness, from the joy of giving without expecting anything in return. It shows us that the greatest acts of love are often the simplest, the ones that come from the heart. Cherish the ones who give selflessly. Appreciate the people in your life who offer their love and support without expecting anything in return. Recognize the beauty in their selflessness, and let it inspire you to give in the same way. Be grateful for the simple moments. Find joy in the small acts of kindness, in the moments of connection and love that make life meaningful. Appreciate the beauty of the world around you, and let it fill your heart with gratitude. And like the giving tree, find happiness in the joy you bring to others. Let your love and your generosity be a source of strength and fulfillment. Give selflessly, and you will find that the act of giving brings you more joy than you could ever imagine. Find happiness in the joy you bring to others. Let your actions be guided by love and kindness, and you will find that your life is filled with happiness and fulfillment. The story of the giving tree is a reminder that the greatest joy comes from giving, from loving selflessly, and from finding happiness in the happiness of others. That's the story of the giving tree, a lifetime of giving. A story that teaches us about the true meaning of love and happiness. A story that reminds us that the greatest acts of love are often the simplest, and that true happiness comes from giving selflessly. What can you give today? How can you make a difference in someone's life? Let the story of the giving tree inspire you to give selflessly, to love unconditionally, and to find happiness in the joy you bring to others.